which means the top 4 most popular civs are not allowed. Hence why you're not seeing the Rus here, hence why you're not seeing the HRE, Chinese, or English either.
Yeah, I mean, HRE in China and English makes a ton of sense. Those civs seem to just be the top dogs on a lot of these, like, mostly water hybrid maps, right? Especially Holy Island. They just seem to dominate in a lot of cases. But there were a couple players that we saw really use Abbasid, I think, even in the other rounds of this tournament on this map. So Abbasid isn't, like, too surprising here. I mean, I think we saw Lucifer and Vortex pick the civ a lot on this map, if I recall. I mean, it's kind of tough to remember every player picking every civ, but I feel like I've seen a lot of Abbasid games on this map.
I think we've seen, like, Stay, Calp, there was a few players in the qualifiers as well. I think mostly for Lucifer and Vortex, it was either HRE or English as usually one of them, or Rus, right? One of those 3 would always get through. So kind of makes sense in that regard. But like to the Abbasid's point, what I love about the civ is something I've been begging for a long time is the idea of manipulating the cheaper docks and the discounts you can get on your emplacements to just win water without actually building ships, right? It's a cool idea, especially if you start moving up the river towards that midpoint.
Yeah, it can be really strong, especially if you can get it close to that choke point and then have your ships kind of like blockade the north of it. It's just like, how are you going to fight this? You can't really flank anymore because you got the island to the south in this case, right? And then the towers or the emplacements on the docks to the north, and it's like, well, you can't really like flank with any cool demos or anything like that. So yeah, it can be a bit of a fortress protecting your fish while you build up. It's quite strong, but interesting to see how CoRe is going to approach this. Currently just the 1 dock.
The thing we have to remember, by the way, is like round 2 we had 12 villager starts, so we did get a bit spoiled. We were always expecting these 2 dock openings. We have to remember now it's a little bit slower, but even though the Abbasids do have this discount docks, I am a bigger fan of just starting slow. Like, just because you can build something doesn't mean you should, right? That's a hard lesson I've had to learn in my time playing this game, Winston. Like, just because I can run all my villagers to the enemy base and build towers doesn't mean I should.
I mean, yeah, sometimes patience is a virtue. I'd agree. But other times, if you can build something, you should, because it's fun, right? And that's what games are for.
No, Winston! Games are to be won! How dare you come into this holy temple of competitive RTS and tell me fun is what we're meant to have?
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, CoRe has 8 on wood already, so, I mean, potentially could see a second. But no, it doesn't look like. Oh yeah, there you go. You see all the mini map. Look at that.
He's crawling up the. Yeah, it's on a delay. He's crawling his way now up the coast.
There you go. Second dock. Look at that. Look at that.
Now.
So CoRe's feeling aggro, man. He's feeling he got to go for something here. Playing a little greedy.
Well, the thing that we got to keep an eye out for is what his tech up choice is going to be, because that's going to tell you a lot here, right? Because there is the option to get a pretty smooth discount via preservation of knowledge on those emplacements, which would make them pretty damn affordable for the Abbasids to spam.
Yeah, POC is actually really nice on water maps, I find. I call it POC, sorry, that might be a thing. Preservation of knowledge, POK. Maybe it's just me. I call it POC. I think POC is really good on this map for a couple reasons. If you POC into military wing, actually, with like a semi-FC, those first 2 camels can be really annoying on a map if the wood line is far away, or if the opponent has just no military yet because they were kind of like caught off by the FC, for example. So we'll see how Malians handle that. I think they can generally deal with the camels okay if they have the right setup and they scout it, but I mean, it could be an interesting choice. Or we could just see the more standard, you know, eco wing, couple TCs behind the boom, try and play safe, but or not safe but boomy, but I'm not sure you're gonna see that here.
I mean, there is another option, the trade wing. As soon as I say it, yeah, because we have seen this a few times. I think the last time we saw an EGC broadcast was state, and for good reason. You can drop your dock in your corner and trade to that neutral trade post. So now it puts the pressure on the Malian player to do something about it.
Yeah, you get kind of that corner trade. It's not the most efficient, but if you can get it early enough, it can be really strong, right? Those 3 traders going to come in clutch here for CoRe if he can get it to work. And I don't see any timing for Malians here, especially with the Magic Quarry to like... What?
Szalami.
Oh!
That's one hell of an aggro dock.
He's got the Vills as well. He's got the Scout to help as well. So yeah, this dock I think should go up unless we see a big reaction from CoRe, which I don't think he wants.
What's your reaction here though, Winston? Like, because here's the other thing to think about. Look at the tech timings. it's not just like you can't react to this. Even if you pull the villagers now, once that tech up comes out, Szalami can just get the first archer ship out.
Yeah, and he's also got the Manticore behind this. If he toggles that to stone, it means he doesn't even need to go to stone, and he can get an emplacement there after like what, 2 minutes. So it could be really, really interesting if he does something like that, but I'm not sure he will.
I don't think he needs it, right? Like, just get an archer ship and take out the fishing. Another cool play for him down the line is we have to remember, like, Marlians, they can get the warrior scouts. So you actually have a pretty cost-efficient way of chasing down these traders if it does become a problem.
Yeah, that first war canoe on the way, it's going to be kind of annoying, but these fishing boats, the first fish here is in range of the dock, so I think he'll mostly have the healing. So it shouldn't be too annoying, and here's CoRe's reaction is, oh, you're going to proxy dock me, I'll proxy dock you, so we've got double proxy dock. You know, that's always a fun phrase to say.
There's more.
There's more. Yeah, no, exactly.
Szalami's
you know what's
dropping another dock.
Yeah, CoRe doesn't have, oh, gosh. Oh, man. Oh, and he can maybe build a transport and, like, get some units in there? No, it's too late for that.
No, the transport ship's just not worth it at this stage.
It's not worth it at this stage, I know, but it
You're
could be
dreaming
cool.
of release days, aren't you?
Yeah, come on, let me dream.
Once upon
I mean, what this does though is this makes those traders a lot more awkward. He might not even want to send them to the dock. He might not want to even show them down there.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that southern corner dock up yet. Unless he just goes across to the right here. Oh, the demo! Oh, that timing was tight. Double dock here.
But wait, this is great demo ship value. So now there it is, Szalami. Just stockpile demos and put them between these two docks, and they can never be repaired.
Oh man, that'll be tough. As now, the Bagla comes out, defends, and okay, he's just gonna sit them there. All right, yeah.
You got to make it into a big bomb. This is like, you know, when you play those games where it's like if you combine 3, they become bigger. Like that's the kind of thing we're going for here, except with explosions.
And this is why I kind of question the trade ring on this map. Is look at those traders, only 41 gold, and that trip is taking a long time to go there. Like this doesn't seem super high value.
Wait, where is he returning them? It's because he's sending them home.
Yeah, he's just doing it to his House of Wisdom. Unless he's going to build a dock right now and fix it. No, yeah, just 41 gold just doesn't feel like it's the highest impact play here. But maybe it'll be enough. Maybe I'll be surprised here. I don't know.
Hey,
like 123 gold.
If he does it 3 more times, Magnus. But honestly, I think he wanted to go for the shoreline, but it's because of Szalami's play that he can't. And well, there's the demo ships we were talking about. 4 explosions will be good enough, so all the docks will be going down just as one of them gets invested into placements as well. So a waste for CoRe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a waste here for sure in some ways, but like think about it, those docks cost 150 wood combined. Then you have the cost of the emplacement, which is 175, right? Or 200, something like that. So 175. So like I don't know, 4 demos. I don't know.
It's
that's actually
640 resource investment, right? So it's like that's the comparative on the other side. But the reality is you have to remember the villagers ran all the way out there. They idled themselves building it up and had to come back. And now, meanwhile, demo ships continue to be a core part to Szalami's plan.
Yeah, core part. I mean, passing them off to CoRe as a core part of his plan for sure, as he just kind of dunks them. The fishing boat's just going to sit there while they take it, and another 200 gold or 123 gold coming in very slowly here. It's a slow build-up for CoRe with this plan
and
versus Szalami, who's got a really nice pit line in the middle of the map.
Wait, CoRe's going rams as well.
Where is that ramp?
I think
is
he's
he building it on
home.
his coast? Yeah, I think he's trying to build it to clear out these annoying docks.
I don't blame him. They are truly annoying here. Most of the fishing's just gone, right? Like, CoRe, is he down to maybe 2 fishing boats total?
The Baglig's going to take a huge shot here.
Wait.
Going to be able to retreat. Going to take some repairs. He's playing at this little fold, but the repairs are going to be enough.
There's a demo coming from behind, kind sir. Wait, he's going towards it.
Oh, he picks up the village instead. It was just one vill, though. Okay, I don't actually know if that was...
Yeah, I genuinely thought the Bagler was better value there, but I guess he's paranoid about the escalation here.
Yeah, CoRe's macro looking kind of interesting here. 600 wood and 400 gold now. Not exactly sure what his plan is in terms of spending, whereas Szalami, his plan looks a lot more clear. He's 300 gold from the tech up.
And the cool thing when you play a warp map like this, you know, it doesn't have to be just like some sort of Rimba push of inventory. We could just see mass sofa on a delay compared to what we're used to seeing out of Marlians on land maps.
Yeah, this could be really, really strong coming in from him as the war canoe meets off against the baglet. Demo coming in though, gonna have to retreat. Demo's on both sides here, so a bit risky.
Demo will go in deep, unless it's fish boat for trouble. But I honestly feel Szalami kind of like screwed himself there, because it looked like CoRe wasn't noticing that the emplacement was attacking him. That would have actually killed the boat otherwise.
Yeah.
Demo? Wait, what?
I don't know what's going on.
All right.
Now. Okay.
They seem a little bit distracted, looking elsewhere.
There's just ships dying elsewhere. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of become very petty at this stage. Like, no one really has a big navy, but everyone's like, hey, take this. I'll hit you with that one, right? And it's like kind of this little follow-up after follow-up. Not a ton of value to be found in these big fights, but, I mean, CoRe wants to keep fishing. And he's made that very clear by queuing up a lot of fishing boats in his docks.
Kind of has to at this stage, the amount that he's invested into docks on itself. And well, Szalami, after this reset, he should just think about going for that castle age. Like, you can see, he's got plenty of food to work with. He can even just start booming sofas now in prep for the delayed tech up.
Yeah, I mean, that imported armor tech just going to be so high value, allow you to really dive those. It basically makes the sofas a knight, right, in some ways, but improved warrior scout coming in. I'm curious about his decision making here. He's going to be going for some Danso, it looks like, to defend against these spearmen. I guess he's worried about this ram coming in and annoying his investment, but like, I feel like he's been 200 gold away from it clicking up for a long time. Like, a market and just sell 200 wood, for example, would have been the click up here, and I feel like he could have really caught CoRe by surprise, because CoRe's nowhere near a tech up. If you get the right units out, CoRe would have been in a lot of trouble here, but clearly these spearmen are going to be effective at forcing a big reaction from Szalami. He's just going to start making Musafati as well.
I feel like Szalami's gone the Star Wars way of his narrative. He's moved to endgame, and then he's come back to solve the rest of the puzzle with the prequels, right? Like, it feels like this play in the center is what you do next, right? It's prepping the castle age timing, but now, because this pressure comes in, and you get caught in the middle of this, you're now 2 more minutes away from castle age than you should have been.
Well, a lot further than that, right? I mean, he just spent like 800 food on units here in the middle. He's making warrior scouts, he's making Danso, he's making Musafati, he's also making more ships as well on the sea. So another sunken cost for that the food, right? And not sunken cost, but just another cost for that food. And it's tricky here, but a big navy coming out from CoRe as well. So maybe the right call by Szalami to respect the feudal here from CoRe and not, you know, rush that age up for no gain.
So cool. That's a sizable fleet. It took a lot longer than usual, but we've reached that stage in Holy Island. Although these demo ships are not really finding the wallop you'd expect. I think this is the point where you just leave, CoRe.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to retreat from this at this point. And the demo is coming around the north, and they're going to catch
They get one. Definitely one. He's going to get maximum value. He gets multiple ships!
Oh.
What was that demo?
Holy. If he can chase down these two baglas, this could be a massive win on the water.
Was that loaded with thermite? Plutonium? Like, what was that blast radius?
Yeah, I don't know. I actually have no idea. And meanwhile, this huge infantry army from Malian's going to come across the map here, going to kill these two traders, although I don't know how much value they've really had for CoRe at this stage. They've definitely added up for the gold, but I don't know what his plan's going to be. I mean, how does he deal with this army here from Szalami? Szalami's got 50 units on the board, and a lot of those are Navy, but, I mean, he's still got, 25 infantry camping out the north side of CoRe's base. Gotta be something he's worried about.
I mean, you talk about a lot of his military pop cap being on water, but it's the same for CoRe. So really, that difference is just as big as you'd think here, as they're both locked in that regard. Well, pressure is applied, so CoRe probably going to have to double down on more naval side. Meanwhile, raids on land and just block him in. I mean, you're getting to the stage where you can just dive. You can just go in as deep as you want. It'll cost you the army, but the amount of villages you kill in return will make it worth it.
Oh. Yeah, this woodline's pretty exposed, although there are a decent number of archers there, but they've just moved out of position to deal with those few dons. So look at the idle time alone. Even if he doesn't get a Vil kill, this is worth it.
It's no wheelbarrow. Like, where are you all going, okay? You all had your coffee breaks for the day. Get back to work. Meanwhile, on the water side, looks like they're maybe a little bit distracted, but quick reaction just in time from CoRe. Szalami with the peel back. Suboptimal there. It's only his archer ship getting hit. Once the archer ships get insta-sniped, the demo follow-up can just push him back entirely. It's just a case of whether CoRe can get that, because right now he has no gold.
Core's got a really strong Navy. You know, after that initial like blast of that one crazy demo, I kind of thought Szalami was just gonna win water, but CoRe out of the woodworks, pulling just a ton of ships here. There's like 4 or 5 arrow ships in the back there that just did a lot of damage in this side, and now Szalami forced to retreat on the water.
But there we go. In the base, a lot of idle time was still occurring. A few villagers were being sniped out. You can see the eco, they're neck and neck at this stage. And Szalami is keeping that pressure up. Maybe he wants to think about doing something else, though. Like, this is a lot of resources you're throwing at your opponent, and it's not ending the game.
Okay, if either player had been watching there, that could have been either titanic or disastrous. I mean, CoRe, if Szalami had just looked at those, that could have just been 2 more high-value demos for him, which have been really keeping him alive on the water. I feel like CoRe's invested a lot more into his Navy and gotten a lot less value
I think you see it on destroyed value, right? Like, there's a big difference between these 2 players. Well, so far, it's saying that CoRe has actually swept more, funnily enough. Szalami, the interesting part is, like, we have to remember these fights are a bit baity in that when you look at them, you're like, wow, CoRe cleaned up the fleet. Szalami usually has, like, 6 more boats coming, right? So the issue, though, is with that pressure, Szalami's never reached a point where he's now fully denying the fishing again, which means that CoRe is in the middle of a reboom. And Szalami, we talked about a few minutes ago, that he sacrificed that card stage timing. And now the potential for it is completely gone.
Yeah, it was interesting that big infantry army, he had like 25, you know, a mix of Donzo and Musafati, and when he dove the wood line, I thought it was great, but then I think he kind of got distracted with the water fight, and you saw it, he kind of lost all of them to archers.
Yeah.
I guess he got maybe an okay trade. It was hard to see because we were watching the water fight, but the way that CoRe's army is still walking around makes me think that Szalami just kind of lost everything to the TC and archers and didn't really watch it anymore, let them die, and yeah, that puts Szalami in a rough spot here. Especially when he didn't win water nor land.
Like, when you consider his whole army gets countered by archers. And honestly, these Musafati, they are not what they used to be. You're noticing it.
Yeah.
Like, a big chunk of their damage was shifted to bonus, right? So they don't clap villages as quickly anymore.
Yeah, but still good use of that stealth there to get 2 Vil kills and get out with a decent number of them. But yeah, still losing like 4 or 5 units. At this point, I feel like the Castle Age is got to be a very critical part of like how your strategy evolves. And
okay.
Oh boy, a raid here.
But we have got the Moy TC from Szalami. I was wondering, he was floating a lot of stone, courtesy of the Mansa. He did decide to just kind of boom up on land. It's kind of funny to be in the game of the Bastards, and they're the ones with less TCs.
Yeah, it's an interesting play, but he's got a lot of docks and a lot of fishing boats. I feel like he keeps adding, but curious. Both players matching another navy, so we're going to have an engagement pretty soon as CoRe moves out. A lot of demos for Szalami. Jeez.
I mean, we're getting double digits in a sec. He just wants to win this with 1 punch. The problem is there's a lot of archer ships. Like, if you miss micro, if you stack like that, that investment's just gone instantly, right? Chain reaction boom.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be tricky here for Szalami, I think, but at the same time, he's got a decent number of ships themselves. Forces out some of the arrow ships to fade in. They're going to back up. The Bagla is just retreating from the fight, leaving the arrow ships to die as several of them go down there.
I mean, that's fine. Like, you know, you killed half the demo ships in that situation. I actually love the way that he got one of his demos in and injured, I think it was 3 demo ships as well as one of the Springolds. So that kind of put Szalami in the back foot at the beginning. But now as CoRe retreats, like, we don't know how many of these docks actually have emplacements. I would expect 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of stone, and I don't, like you said, I don't think he's invested in another TC, so I would almost say that all of them at this stage, but maybe not.
Demos?
I mean, hard to say. Demos come in and just go for the arrow ships. Low value, no bonus damage there, but if you kill them all, then you can go further in for the Bagla. A lot of Bagla. 10 of them in the back here. Gonna start chunking away now that the demo threat is gone, but 2 more cycling in from Szalami.
Bagla's not looking bad here. Like, they have the number advantage. He can just stick to this fight. Like, the demos, the problem is, like, now Szalami's trickling them. I think Szalami's actually at risk of losing water if this push continues now, because CoRe has mass.
Yeah, exactly. Once you have that certain critical mass of the Baglas, or whatever the Hulk ship type you have, you can kind of start to push, you can kind of start to poke and prod a bit more, but Szalami with a big mass on land, once again able to mass that group up, gonna attack the center this time instead of going back to the wood line.
He's got
just
Sofas
forcing
as well.
CoRe off hold.
Like, Sofas is the deal here, right? CoRe didn't really have the spearman to protect against that. I was wondering if Szalami wanted to add in javelins, but actually now that I see this mixture in his comp, I think this is good enough to break the land eco.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really good here from Szalami. He's actually fully pushed CoRe off of gold. There's 2 gold mines to the south that he could use, but I think he's a little afraid of going out there away from his TC.
He's getting pushed on water, though, right? That's the trade-off. Remember, that's the way Julian works. His dive coming in is going to sting a little, but CoRe is now reaching into the fishing, and if I'm not mistaken, that's pretty much all of Salami's fishing. He's using them as cannon fodder just to try and stay alive.
Yeah, like, oh man, that's just so tough here for Szalami. He's going to have to lose his fishing in order to try and win this fight, which I don't think he will, but actually, no, he will. This demo's about to connect in a huge fashion. Several Baglas go down with that shot, and I mean, the micro was a bit rough there for Szalami, what he had to do, though, and it worked.
Exactly. You have to look now and go, oh, but at what cost? And
no
this
fish.
This is the deceptive part, though, right? Like, maybe they were done with fish. They've been eating sushi every week, Winston. They want to get food of a different kind. Maybe something a bit more gamey or a bit more, you know, vegan-friendly.
Beef?
Beef as well?
I think they're working on their beef. I think we saw some cows earlier under the TC of Szalami, so I think he could have some cattle coming in pretty soon. Maybe we'll see some ranches at this stage. It could be an interesting way to invest in some more food eco, but I don't know. It's tricky at CoRe with a lot of stone. I think the thing is, like, you know, what I'm seeing here is a situation where CoRe probably feels like he's just won the longer game now because he took out the fleet and the fishing. And that is betrayal, right? Information that you know is betraying you. Because if you check CoRe's vision, he sees nothing on land, right? So this can kind of lull him into a false sense of security where now Szalami in the next minute or two can come and push him off of water and off of land because of how strong his land eco is. Yeah, this is starting to look a little dicey here for CoRe as the land units even come in to attack the docks from behind, but I don't know if that's going to do very much here as the demos get sniped out again. Szalami has had a really tough time using the demos offensively in this game. Like, I think every time he's come to this section of the map on the water, he's just been forced back so decisively by CoRe. It's a thing amongst us Apex people. I think Szalami will agree. You know, we like to W key, so everything has to just move forward. But in this situation, that can be a little bit detrimental. We're not really seeing the holding of hostages that we see from Vortex and Lucifron especially, right? Where these demos don't need to go in. They just need to threaten that they can. Yeah, and the Sofa raid's going to get cleared up. Another little group of Musafati just going to die to the arrow fire here. There's plenty of archers, plenty of TC, like garrison arrows, garrison slots for CoRe to use, and these little run-ins aren't going to be super effective for now. Szalami's going to have to find another way to, like, accrue a big advantage on the land. It feels like he always has the bigger army, but I think he's kind of thrown him away a decent number of times, and it's getting a little dicey for him, because if he loses the water, he's not going to have that critical land advantage that he's been relying on so much recently. Demos, once again, can't get in. Archership on the side, making sure that stays the case. And, yeah, to your point, like, let's think about it this way from Szalami's perspective. How many times has he spent his castle age? How many times has he had the potential to do it, and instead he's built a few more units that get thrown away to kill, like, 3 villages? He's got 1,000 food per minute. Can we check his base at some point? Because I think he might have some cattle something going on there. There's something interesting. Wait, he set up for ranch. He's going for Lani. Oh, okay, no, ignore me. I'm looking at the wrong place. That was the gold. It's a lot of idols. Okay, we won't look at that. Sorry for showing that, everybody. That was we don't look at that. Ignore my Fulani comment. I misread the map, and ignore the villages Szalami is. So, I mean, he's the pro. If he's ignoring them, it should be okay. I mean, we're really close to the age up here for Szalami. Once again, he could just mark it and buy up, but maybe it's just not worth it. Maybe it's just worth it to keep making sure you don't lose water. They're kind of ensnared in that battle, right? Just like, if you don't invest, you die kind of situation. What's the war version of a tunnel? They're they're English channels, because we've got a tunnel there underwater. I guess that counts. Okay, the channel. The channel. Okay, they're channel vision. That sounds like something else. Children do not channel. Okay, I apologize greatly for that comment. That's a lot. Oh man. That's. What is the plan with these demos? Okay, we're employing World War II Soviet strategies here, Winston. If we all charge the enemy at the same time, how many bullets have they got? Did Szalami just lose his game? He's floating 2,000 food and he's not spending it on anything. He needs to click up or build an army or do something. He's about to lose a really important spot on the map here in the middle. He's now going to mark it. Now he's going to Farimba garrison. I don't know what the Farimba can save you here. Look at the military count.
Look at his gold.
57 to 8.
Look at his gold as well. Like, that income is not really that impressive. He's going to have the whole land eco harvesting what little gold's left.
I think it looks low because so many vills were idle. I think once these kick in, it'll go good again.
But that's a 4K gold vein, right? That's the other thing I'm thinking here. And look where the rest of his gold veins are situated.
Yeah, that's 20 clicks on the Farimba, and then you got to move out, right? Like, you have this little opportunity to... it's not little by any means, by the way. That's like, you can fully pop
That's quite big. But the problem is, like, CoRe has fishing behind this. He has double TC himself. He's taking away your gold vein, a big investment in the center. Like, keep in mind that most of Szalami's military production is at that base, right? So, like, outside 1 or 2 stables, he only has the Farimba at home. The Farimba that has been nerfed.
Yeah, but he's still got the Farimba, right? I mean, even though it's nerfed, it's still a very strong landmark in terms of pumping out army when you have the economy. He still has 96 economic units. I think a lot of these are about to die, fishing boats, because he's, I mean, almost thoroughly lost water. He doesn't seem to believe it, though, as he's getting the extra arrow attack on his, the Malian unique attack, I believe, on the water. So it's, he's thinking he could do something here, but surely not. Surely this is too many ships.
I mean, the problem is if he does...
Is that a demo? Oh, that's a demo.
If he forfeits water entirely as well, the other issue is that gold vein he's now relying on can't be harvested, right? Because these ships will reach. So it's kind of in for a penny, in for a pound. You've left yourself out and hung and dry and stuck with this now. Like, if you give over water, you've probably lost the gold investment you need for the Farimba.
He's not using the Farimba.
There you go. That's how you don't have to worry about the gold, folks. Just don't use it.
Just build a landmark and don't spend anything. Just don't touch it. If you ignore the problem, it doesn't. I've used this my whole life very effectively.
You know what it is?
Don't think about the problems.
Right? Like, if he pushed, like, Musafadi, I mean, like, you've seen those Musafadis, they're not that tough. They can't take a ballista shot to the face. But Sofas with imported armors, Winston, they can deflect everything. I mean, they are, like, they're Neo from the Matrix.
Yeah, they're very strong, but I don't know if they're going to save you here when you're down 4-1 military. It's just going to be really tough here, I think, for Szalami to hold, even though he's up, because CoRe, he's got the res to click up in just a second as well, and I think that's going to follow behind very shortly. He's taking his time with the attack, waiting for the water. I think he's waiting to win water and then push. You know, he'll be up in age, he'll have secured the advantage and, like, been able to benefit from it. I feel like that's something sometimes players get a bit too antsy. They're like, oh, I've won water, I can win now, right? And it's like, well, actually, you need to, like, let the fishing boats work for, like, a couple minutes, and then you can win, right?
Well, there's plenty of them to work, is the point. And also, like, let's consider what else he can do on water. You know, the land trade didn't work so well. Wow.
He has trade wing. He could add Grand Bazaar and start getting a lot of extra resources from that. So it could work out for him. He's got enough. He's got the market set up. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of demos pretending to be fishing boats at a fishing spot. Did you see that? They were just like, yeah, we'll work. Oh, dynamite fishing. Have you heard of that?
I tell you what,
military wing coming in.
It's a good thing that friendly fire isn't a thing, right? Like, I would not feel comfortable as a fisherman if friendly fire existed in AoE4. Like, are you sure this is a good idea? Yeah, just keep fishing. Stupid idiot's gonna come and think that they're attacking fishing boats, and then we'll get them.
I mean, for a long time, people used to dynamite fish. They just chuck a stick of dynamite in there and get a lot of value out of it.
It's the most American thing you've said today.
It's a thing that people did. It's a thing that people did, and I think that CoRe might be, you know, trying it out a little bit. You know, he's got all those demos gathered around. He's popped. CoRe is popped. Like, he is comfy. He can go imp pretty soon after this click.
He can back to back, right? The moment that bar stops and he's like, this doesn't feel right, he can just press the button again.
Well, I think now that he's won water, he's going to start deleting a lot of boats, hopefully. And that'll open up some pop space boats, obviously taking quite a lot of pop space away from you. As the knights are going to get, the Sofas are going to get a nice charge against the archers here.
But he's in cast lane now. He doesn't really care about archers anymore. this just became a whoop-de-doo.
Boot camp! Oh, sorry. I get excited for boot camp. I think it's a great name for a tech, by the way. Like, just boot camp, you know?
You're just imagining like an Abbasid army sergeant that sounds weirdly like an American drill sergeant telling them to do press-ups, you know, push-ups.
Yeah, exactly.
God damn it, Marines! Get down there and give me 20! I don't know how to say that in Middle Eastern language, I'm sorry.
I'm glad you're not trying. Yeah, so now the archers, yeah, just gonna have to deal with these Sofa a little bit. The raid's coming in. The spearmen just gonna say hello to the castle, give it a nice high five, but they're gonna go around for the gold miners there. Szalami did find that 8K on the north end, secured it for the time being.
This game is like, it's weird how often you kind of feel like it should be over one way or the other, but it just seems like neither player has this final punch to give. I mean, you see Szalami, you saw that keepy setup that gave him the gold. It's also consolidating control of this area so that he can gather behind this, right? So like he's finding ways of weaseling his way into a land transition.
Yeah, and this might work. I mean, this gold obviously going directly into the Farimba now, right? So he's pumping out archers 5 at a time, Sofa as well. So Musafati and archer count going up, the Sofa count going up. And I mean, for now, CoRe's just going to sit back and go Imp, 40 seconds away, Culture Ring on the way, so he can quickly pick up Pak, my favorite name for a tech as well. And with Pak, he can quickly get all the techs. I'm going to keep saying Pak all day. If we're going to get a lot of Abbasid games.
I see. You're doing that thing. You're proud of the naming convention you gave it, and now you're trying to use the broadcaster to ram it down people's throats.
Exactly. Pak is a great
I'm proud of you.
Okay. So yeah, Culture Ring coming in. Camels are out. That's a good response here to the Sofa. Sofa gonna feel those camels on the battlefield for sure.
I really do like CRs to counter out this. See? Like, I can do it too.
No, it doesn't count. You can't just... Hold on.
What's wrong with CRs? CRs, like, you got CA and CR, right?
They're called camels, man.
Yeah, but you got camel archers and camel riders. They're different things. That's really discriminatory if you, Winston, to just assume that, like, they're different people, okay? One has a sword, one has a bow.
That's a lot of Sofa, though. Like, the Farimba has really worked here in terms of getting a big army out. He's just going to fight against the Spearmen. The Sofa, with that little bonus damage against infantry, does add on to the Spearman damage. So when you take those fights, it doesn't feel great. But the Ram going to die, the Archer's going to go down, and suddenly, CoRe, where's your army? All of your population is on the water still.
He took that fight without Phalanx as well. And of course, without the elite upgrade. Like, how many Raxus has CoRe got? 6? I don't think that's enough.
Wow, that's a lot of Idle Villas, too. Just wall.
Okay, that's a lot more than 6, but they're not working. Come on, pump those numbers, CoRe.
I think...
we gotta do some we gotta do some stock trader levels of numbers right here. Come on.
I love Dr. Dabston's response to that. How many racks does he have? Like 6? Not enough. Just slowly pans to the left to show like a full screen of production buildings. Okay. Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, this attack is being met with the Springle Towers now. They're in. The TC Fire. I don't know if Szalami can sustain this level of attrition. I mean, they have the same villager count.
Yep. So you changed your mind very quickly there. Can he sustain it or not, Winston?
I'm expressing my concern for CoRe at this point.
For both sides, because many people are dying in this war.
A lot of people. A lot of vills. Wait.
Do you hear their death sounds anymore? Like, I can't
Does
hear
CoRe have a gold mine? CoRe's only gold mine is in the north.
He has got gold. Yeah, he walled himself off, so he's got the northern gold veins.
He walled that northern spot? Okay, I think he's not using it.
No.
I think
he's on 2.
I think he's got 20 gold. I think he's got 20 gold.
Yeah, but what's happening near the relic? What is he gathering there? Because it's not stone. Oh, it's farms. He's setting up farms. Okay.
Yeah. Oh man.
The fact that he's doing a farm transition in this kind of situation though, and not dying for it straight away, means I have faith in the Abbasids.
I think he'll be if he can hold this for a bit longer. I think the Imp should tech in, but Poison Arrow's on the way. A very useful tech, especially for down in age. It gives archers just that 3 flat damage basically at every engagement. Against those heavily armored units, it can mean a lot. Though not many of those on the battlefield.
But he got boot camp.
CoRe has no gold.
That's true.
Yeah, boot camp's in. You know.
It kind of offsets the poison, right?
He's pushed off gold again. Wait, this could start to get really bad. He's building a monastery. I don't think the monk's going to get that relic. Well, actually, no. I think he's got enough units here to maybe push this army back. Behind this, Szalami has 31 archers. That's a lot of archers in Sofa.
I mean, but there's mangonels now. And the Sofa count, like, it would look lethal at like 20 minutes into a game, but you're now up against elite Abbasid spearmen 35 minutes into a game. It'll do some damage, but you know, I don't know how sustainable this is for Szalami.
Yeah, I really question how long he's going to be able to do this, right? I mean, I was saying that before. I don't know, and I still don't know, right? The Farimba Garrison is full of mysteries. That 8K gold mine, I think, just ran out, too. So he's now on the middle gold mine. Oh, boy.
I mean, admittedly, like, plus sides for Szalami, CoRe could have been trading on water and he'd have gold. And he'd never done that. So, like, he is preventing certain premium units from coming out. But considering he went mass archers with the poison arrows to kind of get that bang for buck into premium, you kind of feel robbed. You're like, I didn't even really need this tech on top of what I had.
Have you seen that? You see this, man? You know, he's got 4 rams coming. I don't think the rams are going to do very much here.
No,
unless he's able to protect them. He's going to have 40 archers pretty soon, though. That's a lot of archers, but he has lost that whole sofa mess. He went for that raid in the back and just kind of got punished pretty hard.
But he's not going to get punished in the big fight because, you know, some people would look, they go, oh, CoRe's building horsemen. Szalami's done for here. Count the pips on those horsemen. He has no gold. They aren't even Castle Age.
Has no gold. I mean, he's going to sort that out now that he has access to the gold. I think he hasn't even gone to it. He has 300 gold per minute from something. Oh my gosh, look at them just taking damage, though, from those poison arrows as well. As I think Szalami's going to win this fight in the middle. The Rams distracting a lot of economy there from CoRe. And if Szalami wins this fight, he could just follow this up with even more Rams. He's got 4 placed already. He can afford another 10 at least, right? So this is going to be insane if he can get this push going. I'm not sure. It seems like CoRe's in that spam ability spot where he can just keep doing this forever.
We've reached that phase. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we're getting close to Golden Age 3, where the production speed just gets disgusting. And now CoRe is getting into the upgrades. I believe that's also composite bows on the way. So, you know, that's a cool kind of balance between these two civs. You mentioned the poison arrows for Szalami. Well, the composite bows with the reload time reduction, I think CoRe's damage output is similar.
It's a really, really insanely strong tech, and he does also have the +2 attack, so he could just get the 3rd ranged attack upgrade and have a lot of damage. I don't think he has incendiary arrows yet. I don't think he's been able to afford a university yet. So, like, this timing with the imp has not looked the cleanest, but we'll see. Yes, still no uni, so not getting those really important techs that he could pick up with Pock, right? There, I did it again. Does that make you mad?
Yeah, Pock, what a great tech. If you have gold, is the TLDR there.
If you have gold, yeah.
So this was Szalami's plan all along. It wasn't just that he needed the gold. He's like, no. I remember Pock, as Winston calls it.
That's a lot of Rams. That's a lot of Rams.
I think he needs more. This is not enough. If it's not double digits,
he's gonna add more. He's still got 3K wood.
Keep going.
Look at this.
Yep. Do you know how much wood? You know how many Rams? 3K wood. That's got to be at least 10 more. Let's keep going.
But you know what's funny? This is like a very important amount of breathing room. CoRe just queuing up all the H2 eco upgrades. He's finally getting wheelbarrow. That's gonna unlock his new level. Oh my gosh, that's a really late.
Is this the latest? Like, this has to be the latest agriculture, like horticulture winning picks I've seen in actually like months.
He was able to. I mean, he was able. That's a lot of Rams, dude.
Winston.
Wait, is he just gonna go for the landmarks?
Yeah,
wait,
that's what I was saying. He needs more Rams. Like, it has to be. It's literally his only play.
He's imp though. I mean, peep the HP on this House of Wisdom though, man. That's not gonna die easily.
That's why he's got so many Rams.
Well,
which he sent in first.
Less Rams. Well, he wants them to attack like this. Get the archers. Yeah, get the spearmen. Dude,
CoRe. I think you have too much economy. So you need military. You need military now.
He has like 20-something population in ships still. Just delete them and live. He's gonna have to pull the boys. The villagers are coming. The villagers are coming here, and CoRe is in a lot of trouble. If these Rams can take out the TC, this House of Wisdom is completely undefended. There's no keep. There's no nothing. There's no towers. And this is like 10 Rams still. 11 Rams. Sorry, I could look at the screen. 10 Rams now, still alive. The villagers have been pulled. I think there might be enough.
What in the name of Robin Hood am I looking at? That's 69 archers, over 70 now. It doesn't even matter how many Rams he gets rid of. He can replace it. CoRe is done.
He calls GG. Oh my god. What a game.
That archer
I can't believe that.
It's the gold. It's the gold, Winston. It comes back to the gold every time.
He didn't have gold. He never went to the golds on the right and the gold in the north. I think he got a little spooked by it. He was just respecting Szalami's army a bit. Whenever Szalami backed off to build those rams, I thought, okay, surely this is what CoRe needed to stabilize. He'll get some critical upgrades and he'll jump in and kill him. And then he just didn't get upgrades. He only got a lead archer. He never built a university, which is like a large part of going imp, right? Like you get the university and you get 20% more usefulness out of like one of your core unit types very quickly. Especially with POC, you can get a lot. You can get a lot of stuff there. And I think, man, that was a hype game, man. There was a lot that went on here. We had like just a line of docks along the coast. Tried the trade wing and failed miserably.
Yeah. I mean, we had loads of questionable lines that game, but the lines of docks, then we eventually had the lines of patrol boats, which was the pop cap the CoRe was missing. Honestly, at this point, if there was any more lines in this game, Charlie Sheen would have turned up out of nowhere. I mean, the crazy part is like the biggest line that mattered was that archer mass at the end. Like 60 plus, 70 plus even. The fact that he scaled that up, and that's where the gold also comes back to matter more, is the fact that CoRe needed mangonels. Direly. Like, he was in ultra dire tides. If he had mangonels in those choke points, I think maybe you can kind of redeem yourself.